Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on this pretty little bracelet, and it's made using just so few materials, just some 6mm rounds. I've used pearls here. I have three different pearls here. These pearls are from the Bead Box. These pearls are from Potomac beads, and these are Swarovski. So I mean, I know we have all this in our stash somewhere, right? So just dig through all those pearls you have. I mean, how gorgeous are these? These are so pretty. So look in those bead boxes. Don't keep them closed. All right. So I'll give you a quick look, close up. So here, these are the silver pearls. Isn't that pretty? And a little more dressy maybe. That'd even be pretty for maybe bridesmaids' gifts. And then here, look at that for summer, spring and summer. And this is the one we're going to make today. So isn't that cool? Absolutely adore them. I'm thinking of a pendant, maybe earrings or a necklace. I haven't designed that yet, so that'll be down the road, but you know, just a heads up just in case. All right, so I'm going to clear this off, get a materials list going, and we'll get started. So please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos, and ring the bell. There's a little bell down there, and that way you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Okay, thanks. Let's get a materials list going. So I'm using two different color pearls, but you can use all one color. You know, this one is just all with silver pearls. Gosh, so pretty. But I'm using two different colors. You'll need some 3mm bicones or rondelles should work here as well. I have an 11/0 seed bead. You might need some 15/0s just for part of the clasp. I have a stop bead here. I have a size 10 and 12 beading needle. You're going to need that 12. And I have 8-pound Fireline. You can use 6-pound here. So you don't want to use Wildfire. It's too thick. We're going through these beads a lot. So you want to use a thinner Fireline. So I go for 6. I didn't go for 6, but I did this all with 8-pound and it was fine. And I used mostly a size, I mean, I like an 11. I didn't have one handy, but if you have an 11, that works really well, but you might need that 12 as well. Okay, that's all you need. All right, I'm going to list everything in the description box below. The video, colors, sizes, shapes, amounts that you need, places you can purchase beads if you need to. So I'm going to clear this off and we're going to get started. Okay, let's get started. So thread your needle with about 6 feet of thread. If you can handle 6 feet, you're going to have to add thread in this for this bracelet. So I will link my adding thread video in the description box below the video. So put on a stop bead and leave about a 12-inch tail. We might use that tail, so let's have it there. So I've picked up and I'm dropping down to my stop bead one of my 6mm pearls and 7 11/0s, and this is the color theme I'm going for this one. All right, so this is what I have. I'm going to sew right back through the pearl, just the pearl. So they'll be surrounded by those 11/0s. I'm going to pick up 7 11/0s. And I'm going to sew back through the pearl again to surround the other side. I'm going to sew up through the beads. I'm just going around. Like this. And I'm just going to move my stop bead out of the way a little bit. I'm going to pick up a bicone and I'm going to sew through the 11/0s on the other side. So just placing a bicone up there. I'm just going to keep sewing down the 11/0s. On this side, sew down for all 7. And then I had another bicone right here. And I'm going to go all the way around one more time until I come out of the bicone I just added. It's going to tighten everything up. So here, throw the 11/0s. Put this bicone at the top. And down the other side. Just like that. Okay, let's add on another unit. So I'm picking up 3 of my 3mm bicones, exiting this one right up here. Just going to sew through the other side of the bicone I'm exiting. Make that into a little unit. Sewing through the side bicone and then this guy. I'm going to pick up another pearl and 7 of my 11s. I'm going to drop those down. Just sew through the pearl. Pick up another 7 11-Os. Sew back down just through the pearl. I'm going to continue around so I can attach the bicone at the top. So go through all the 11-Os. Through the bicone. Down the other side. Take it through all 7. I'll pull. Pick up a bicone. One up. So through the 11-Os on this side to place that bicone. Pull. And this is what we have. Okay, exiting the 11-O here. I'm just going to sew directly through the bicone, like that, at the top. And I'm going to sew up through this bicone here. Okay, let's continue. So I am exiting this side bicone, the top hole. I'm going to pick up my other color pearl and 7 11-Os. I'm going to sew through the other side of the pearl, just like we've been doing. Just give it a little pull if it travels, like that. Add 7 11-Os and go through the other side of the pearl. Get that other side on. Now I'm just going to go around and connect that top bicone. So going through all the 11-Os. Got one more. And then through the bicone. And then down the other side. So all 7 of the seed beads on this side. Trying to keep this pearl sort of above the others. It'll move a little bit more as we go along. Alright, so I'll give it a little pull. Pick up a bicone. Come back through these 7 on this side. So the 7 11-Os, just like that. This is what I have so far. Okay. So I'm exiting that last 11-O of this group of 7. Now, I'm going to sew right up through these 3 11-Os on this pearl right here that is surrounding this pearl, the dark blue pearl. So just went from that one to that one. And I want to keep this unit, I'm going to push it in a little bit like that. I want to keep it above everything. And then I'm going to come down the last 3 beads on this group of 7. So attaching these 2 sides of the pearl together. And I'm going to push this over a little bit, hold it with my thumb, and then pull. Give a nice pull. And do you see how it's sort of sitting those beads on top of the ones on the bottom? That's exactly what you want. So through the bicone, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to attach these beads here. So exiting the bicone, I'm going to sew through these 3. Can't get them all at once. You know, just do them a couple at a time or one at a time. Like that. And then back up through the last 3 of this group of 7. And I'm pulling it inward a little bit like that, putting my thumb on it and giving it a nice tug so it goes in the direction I want it to go. So now this little pearl is sort of above the others a little bit. Okay, you're going to pop right back through the bicone. A little pull. You want to get over here, so you're going to pass through this bicone, just turning my piece because it's easy for me to sew when I move it around like that, and then through this bicone. I wonder if you hear it's one of my kitty cats kind of howling to get in. Okay, there you go. This is what we have so far. So get that done and then we'll continue. Okay, let's get a pearl on this side. So I'm exiting this little bicone right here, picking up a pearl and 7 of my 11-ohs. Just going to sew back through the pearl. Making sure that sort of goes on top of it. Picking up 7 of my 11-ohs. I'm going to go back down through the pearl. I'm just going to continue on around to secure that bicone at the top, just like we've been doing. So through the 11-ohs, through the bicone. Back down through the 11-ohs on the other side. And you don't have to pull this super tight. You just want everything snug and next to each other. So tension is important. So coming down through all those 11-ohs, picking up a bicone, come on through all the 11-ohs on this side. Okay, get to that point and then we'll attach the sides of the pearls. Okay, let's attach. So exiting this 11-oh, come on through these guys. So the 3 pearls on the side of this blue pearl. And then back through these 3. Through the bicone. Through these 3 on the side of that blue pearl, the dark blue pearl, and then the 3 on the side of the light blue pearl. Pulling inward a bit through the bicone. Like that. Now we want to get to here, so I'm going to pop through this bicone. Like that. And you can either work your way down through the seed beads on the side, or you can actually pop right down through that pearl in the center, either way. And then you want to just get through the bicone. So you're just going to make your turn there, go through the bicone. And this is what we have. Okay, so just get to that point and then come back and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So let me get you started on another unit. So here we're exiting this bicone. Pick up 3 little bicones. Attach those. Come through here and here. Now we're going to pick up our pearl and 7/11's. So this is my dark blue pearl. Come through the pearl. Seven 11's. Back down through the pearl. Work your way around. Oops. There we go. So going through all the seed beads, through the bicone, back down with the seed beads on this side, that. Got a little knot going on here. There we go. Pick up bicone. Sewing through all the beads again. So we put the bicone on, sewing through the 11's. Through the bicone at the top, and then this guy. Okay, so picking up the side pearl, so the 6mm and 7/11's. I'm going to go a little faster now. I'll just get you through some of this. 7/11's. Through the other side of the pearl. Continuing around. Through the 11's. And that bicone at the top. Down again. And this side. Through the 11's. Picking up a bicone. Put your bicone in. And continue. Like so. So you are exiting that 11/0 at the end of that round of 7 right there. Okay, now we're going to attach these 2 guys here. So this pearl to this pearl. I'm going to sew through these 3 like that. Make sure that's sort of on top of it. And then I'm going to sew through these 3 on this pearl. Pull in a little bit. I'm going to sew through the bicone like that. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to attach this side, so through these three. And then through the three here. And I'm making sure I'm going to pull it in a little bit like that. See, so it sort of goes on top. Back through the bicone. Through this bicone. And then through this bicone. Okay, so get that done and then come back and we'll just get the last pearl on together, and then I'll send you off for to finish the bracelet. Okay, so I have my pearl and my 7/11-ohs. Like that. Seven 11-ohs. To the other side of the pearl. Work your way around. So all those 11-ohs through the bicone. Back through all the 11-ohs on this side, so all 7. Add your bicone. Through all 7 of those 11-ohs. Okay, so now we're going to attach this side. So exiting this last 11-oh of this group of 7. So down the 3 that are surrounding this pearl right there. Pop up the 3 that are on this pearl. Pull it in a little bit. Through your bicone. Now we do the same thing on this side. Through the 3 that are on the dark blue pearl. Like that. And then through the 3 that are on this pearl, and I'm going to pull that in. If you find that this top pearl is not pulling over enough, you can go around those 3 11-ohs and down these 3 again. Not a problem. I mean, you're going to go down these anyway to move your thread, so I'm going to move it this way. But if you find you want to pull this in more, you can always go through this and then down again. Okay, so through these 3 and down again, if you need to. I'm not going to. I think it's okay. Through these 11-ohs. And through the bottom pearl. That's what we have. So what you're going to do all the way down, you're just going to add another, you're going to add your another 3 bicones here and the pearl, the dark blue pearl. Then you're going to put your sides on. 3, you're going to add your bicone unit and so on and so forth until you get the length of your bracelet. Now what we're going to do after we finish the length is we're going to embellish the sides. So we're going to do this seed bead bit on the sides that really gives it nice dimension. Really pretty, right? So it looks sort of like a pinched in square over here. And so when we do that, it's going to pull the bracelet up a little bit. So you just want, that's what I wanted you to, leave a little bit longer tail. Or what we can do is you can, if you find your bracelet is short, you can always add 1 more of these pearl units on. or we can extend the clasp. So you have options. So this bracelet is 7 inches with the clasp. So I have 6 inches of beading from here to here, and I have 12 pearls right down the center. So if that's helpful, a helpful guide for you for your size, I think that, you can kind of adjust it there. So I have 6 inches of beading, I have 1 inch for my clasp, and I have 12 pearls right down the middle. All right, so get all your beading done, and then when we get back, we'll embellish the ends and put the clasp on, and then you're done. Okay, we're back. So I have a little mini going, and just to show you what it should look like, this is how it should come out. These side pearls, the 11-Os are slightly on top of the 11-Os that are attached to the darker blue pearls underneath. So just like that, just want to be consistent. So now we're going to do the edging. So this part right on the edge here. So you're going to thread your needle with a pretty long thread, and you want to put a stop bead in the middle. And you're going to sew through this bicone, a bicone at the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter which one you're sewing through. And you're going to use half the thread to go down this way, and then you're going to go up this way, and then half the thread is going to go through here, through the bicone, and back up this way. So you want enough to finish without adding thread. I mean, you could add thread, but if you do a super long thread, so I'm going to say you're going to probably need at least 3 feet on each side to complete it, maybe a little bit more. So here I put my thread through. I have my stop bead here so it doesn't pull through. I'm going to pick up 9 11-O seed beads. That's 9. Exiting here, I'm just going to sew through this bicone right on the side there. And I want to make sure that they sort of go in the back. You can even hold them in the back a little bit, or just so they're sort of underneath like that. Then we're going to pick up 7 of your 11-Os. 7, and I'm going to sew through the next one. So the reason I use 9 in the first one is that we have a little more space here that we have to fill. So you're going to do 7 here, and then you're going to do 7 in between each bicone all the way down to the end. So 7 for the next bicone, and so on. And when you get to this one, you're going to put 9 and sew through the bicone. You do the same thing on this side. Start with 9, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 9, sew through this one, and your threads are kind of going to change place, and then we're going to go back up again. Okay, now we're going to start the edge, and we're just going to we don't need any beads now. We're just going to be sewing through these beads to make that sort of pinched looking square. But we're going to start up here. So I'm exiting this bicone right here. I'm going to sew through the 3 11-Os on that. I'll just hold the other thread. So I'm going to sew through those first 3 11-Os that are part of that 9 bead sequence there, and then back up through these 3 that are around the pearl. Just going to pull those together, and I'm going to go all the way down this group of 9 beads. Just hold it with your thumb and just keep your tension good. See how it's sitting nicely? Up through these 3. And then back down. These 3. And you want to give it a pull at this point. So that, and kind of hold it in the back a little bit. Okay? So this is what it looks like. So let's see how we're attaching these. And like we did earlier on the actual units, if you find it's not tight enough, just go through again, come around. You can even, so don't worry about it. But I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to sew through this bicone, just like that. Actually, I'm just going to let you get this done, and then we'll move on. Now I'm exiting the bicone. I'm going to sew through these 3 of the 7. The first 3 of the 7. I'm I'm going to go through these 3 that are on the pearl, pulling a little bit, back through these 3, putting my thumb on it. I'm going to pull it inward a little. So do you see how I'm getting that little start of that kind of pinched square? I'm going to sew down through these 3. Back up through these 3. Right, this is so easy, this part, right? Like that. Back up, back through these 3. And you want to give that a little pull. You want to make sure that this time it's going sort of under. See how I'm pulling it so it's going sort of under the top beads that are around the pearl here. So you're going to kind of guide it under there. Like I said, if you need to reinforce it, you can go around again, just like this. I don't think you have to, but you know, if it's loose and you want to do that, you can. You can just go around one more time. Just make sure you're pulling it inward a little bit. So you see how these beads are underneath and this is on top. You're just going to advance through the pearl and through your next group of 3 right here. It'll be much easier for you. I'm just trying to, you know, hold it correctly for the camera. So those 3, back through these 3, like that. Give it a little pull, back through these 3, and the next 4, like that. Up these 3. And give it a little pull back there, and then down these 3. Reinforce if you think you need to. If you don't, sew through the next bicone. And that's it. That's what you're going to do, just like that, all the way down. And it's going to pull it in a little bit and pull the bracelet in a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. All right, so you're just going to do that all the way down to the end, and you're going to just take your other thread and do it the same thing all the way down to the end, and then come back and we'll work a bit on the clasp. Whoops. So this one looks like. Okay, we're back, so let's get the cup button on. So we have 2 threads. I'm just going to put one thread aside. We'll sew that thread in, and I'm just going to use one of the threads. So here I'm picking up, exiting right here, picking up about 3 11-ohs, the cup button. Decorate it however you want. So I have 3 11-ohs at the top. I'm going to pick up 3 more 11-ohs. You can do 2 here. You just kind of have to judge it. I'm going to come down the first 3 beads after I get those. Did I get 2 on in there? 3 on there? Okay. So that's what I have. I'm going to go back up through these 3. Okay. I'm going to, let's see, what should we do here to get this on really tight? We'll go through this bicone, down these 3, and then back up all of these guys. Through the 3, through the cup button, you got it, through the 3 on the top, down again, and then sew your threads in somewhere along wherever you can get them sewn in. So this is what it's going to look like. I got a little thread sticking out there, but so that's what it should look like when you're done. So get that done and come back and we'll put the loop on. Okay, so here's our first end on. That looks good. So let's put the loop on. Now I'm going to do a little herringbone loop, but you want to make sure if you're going to do it, because it's a little bit wider, right, than just one line of seed beads, that when you put it on, that there's enough space here between the cup button and your bracelet to fit it. Now this one is a little, I mean, it closes fine, it's just slightly tilted, so you may just want to do maybe a peyote one or leave some more space. You'll have to play with that a little bit. It doesn't bother me that it's slightly tilted. All of the cup buttons and such, you know, they never sit completely straight like this. They're always a little bit tilted, but it's gonna, you want to make sure that this herringbone is going to fit there. So you may just want to do just one loop, or maybe do a peyote loop. I'm just going to do the herringbone because I like the way it looked. So where am I going to start? Why don't I start all the way down here? So I threaded my needle with a, a good amount of thread. Actually, I did about 3 feet because we're doing herringbone, or two and a half, something like that. I'm just coming out of the seed bead here, and then I'm just going to start herringbone by taking 2 beads, and I'm going to come down this way, and then up this way. You can also use 15-ohs at this point. So here we're going to add, make sure that went on. Yes, okay. You can try adding some 15-ohs. I'm going to go down, so I'm going to take 2 more. I'm going to go down 2 this time. I just want to make sure that's connected nicely. There you go. And then I'm going to go up 3 here. So just so there's a good connection around that bicone. That's 2. Let me get 1 more up there. There we go. Just so it's nice and stable. Now I'm going to go back to regular herringbone. Down 1, up 2, pick up 2, go down 1, and up 2. You know, you can also play with this. So we're going to do about 25 stitches, which is going to give you this this size loop, which is perfect for the cup button. You know, you could actually do 2 and then go down to 15-ohs when you go around this edge that goes around the button. So what if we did, you know, go maybe the first 10 or so, 12, and then do 15-ohs and then go 11-ohs again when you get around this side. So you can play with that a little to see how that's gonna work for you. So I'm just gonna do my 25. Maybe I'll try those 15-ohs. So all I would do, I don't have them in front of me, is just start adding 15-ohs, and then I'd go to the 11-ohs again. So I'll try that when I come back on camera. We'll see how that worked out. All right, so get that started and then come back and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So I'm in the process of trying it with just some little, 15-ohs in the middle. So I did about 8 herringbone stitches in the 11-ohs. There were about 12 in the 15-ohs and another 8 here. And I think that's going to work, but we'll see. I haven't really tried it yet as far as how the fit is, but I just want whatever you're doing, whether you're doing the this way or a different way, you're just going to attach these 2 beads to these 2. So just going to sew down these 3 and then up these 3, and then you want to sew through up the other side of your herringbone like that. Okay, and you're just going to sew all the way around, and you can reinforce by sewing through again if you like, or you can just sew in your thread. So I'm going to do that, come back, and then we'll give it a try and see how it works. Okay, we're done. So here is the one. I haven't sewn the threads in completely yet, but here's the one with where I went with the 15-ohs. And when I clasp it, it's a little straighter because you have less, thickness here pushing the beads up. So that did work a little bit better. So you could use that. And I'll just show you just in comparison again to the one that has all 11-ohs. See how that one's sticking up a little bit more. So you might want to try it with the 15-ohs. If you want to just put on a toggle, very easy. I did the same thing. I took a thread, went up the side beads. I just added a pearl here. I think there's a 4mm pearl. Went through the loop on my clasp. On the ring part of the toggle, put another bead on, went through, sewed came around and sewed my threads in. On this side, I did exactly the same thing. Just put a thread through here, put on these beads, through the ring, you know, through a couple of, but add a couple of jump rings so you have that length to fit through here. So either way, you know, could be fun to do it just with this, or, you know, give the other one a try. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I really had fun making this. I hope you enjoy making this as well. Hope you post it on Facebook. Leave lots of comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.